On this video, I'm talking about how I got my Nigerian passport in 7 days. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eniola, but you can call me the Global MC. I talk about the international student experience. I also talk about my life as an international journalist, and I also try to talk about some of the money moves that I'm making. So if those are topics that interest you, feel free to subscribe, like, share, comment, all of the great YouTube things, and let's get the show on the road. On this video, I'm talking about how I got my Nigerian passport in 7 days. I know. Even me, I'm shocked. Whenever I told people that, oh, my passport was expiring and I needed to go renew it and ask for recommendations on where I could go to do that, they'll usually say, oh, anything that has to do with Nigerian government is just so stressful. But babe, I'm a Christian. The word of life is in my mouth. The power of life and death are in the tongue. And so I took charge over the situation. And my people, listen, this is going to be a tale for days, okay? So call all your friends, call all your people, and let's all stay on this video until I'm done, okay? So I decided to apply for my renewal, for my passport renewal, mostly because of my F1 status. My school had been sending me emails that, updates your passport data page, because we see that the one that we have on file is going to be expiring in a minute. And so they'd been sending me those emails every month. And I decided that, let me just wait till the last test of minutes before I actually do this thing, because it costs, what does it cost? $150 to get my passport renewed. And I just didn't have the money to spend at that time, like 6 months early, for renewing of passports. So I waited till I could comfortably pay that renewal fee. And that happened, maybe first week of August. So I got my online application in. That's the very first thing you have to do. You have to go to passportintl.immigration.gov.ng. That's passportintl.immigration.gov.ng to start your renewal application. If it's a fresh issue, that's where you also have to go. But I was doing a renewal. And so I got my application in. Various things you have to have for that to be successful. You have to have a passport photograph. So I got one taken at Walmart for like $7, $8, and they accepted it. I had been trying to use some of the passports that I had with me, but they were just not working. So I just tried to do the last resort. I went to Walmart, got my photo taken, and then they accepted that on the website. You also have to upload your passport data page. And then something else you need is your NIN, that's your national identity number. So if you don't have those, you may want to start checking out how you can get them before you have to apply for your passport renewal. Apart from that, you also need to bring your birth certificate along with you to your appointment. This is the list of things that you need to bring to your appointment. First of all, your online application, you need to download it from this website that I'm going to put here. You need to download your online application. You need to bring your birth certificate. On the website, it says that you don't need to bring it if you're a reissue or renewal. But at the consulate in person, they said that you need your birth certificate. So make sure that you print that out as well. I also went along with a copy of my indigenship letter from the Oba of Ikorodu. Hey, I'm a Lagosian people. But anyway, you want to go along with that as well. It was supposed to be uploaded online, but it wasn't asterisked as, this must be uploaded before this form can continue. So I just asked my dad to help me get it. And so before I went for my appointments, I already had it and I printed it out and took it along with me as well. Something else you want to bring along is evidence of your payment. So the fee is $150, but I think you end up paying about $162 just because of the payment platform and their fees as well. And it's best to do this online so everything is smooth sailing when you go for your appointment. So you want to make sure that you bring a copy of your proof of payment. You also want to bring a copy of your appointment slip, because they will need to make sure that, okay, this person actually booked an appointment online. I hear that some people don't book appointments and go there and waste their time. You do not want to waste your time. You want to go prepared. So print out your appointment slip. And I realized that you're actually maybe supposed to wait for them to approve your application before booking an appointment date, but I did not know this when I did my application. And so immediately the application went through and my payment went through, and they said that I could book a date. I booked the closest date, which was April 29th, and that was about 2-3 weeks after I paid for the appointment. And so that happened. But like 2 weeks later, 1 week before the appointment date, I got an email from NIS saying that my application had been approved and that I can now go ahead and schedule an appointment. So I don't know if you have to wait or if you can just go ahead and do it. If the date is too short, maybe you might have to wait. Or if the date is, maybe 3 weeks or month in the future, I think you can go right ahead and just schedule your appointment when the earliest date is available. Something else you want to bring is a self-addressed envelope so that the immigration service can send your passport back to you. I saw a YouTube video online that said that, when she went to ATL, they did not accept her FedEx envelope and that they asked her to buy a UPS one. I spoke with the head of immigration in ATL and she was like, no, we actually prefer FedEx. So this is a public service announcement. Feel free to get your FedEx envelopes. And something else that girl said was that you have to buy Priority Mail Express, which is about $31. I just wasted my $31. I should have just paid for $9 envelope, $10 at most, and I would have gotten my passport here in good time. So you do not have to buy a Priority Mail Express unless you really want to. I bought Priority Mail, but it still ended up taking like 2 days when it was supposed to take 1 day from them receiving it to me getting it. So I don't think it's worth it. Just buy the regular Priority Mail envelope, not the Priority Express Mail envelope. And also in ATL, FedEx is preferred. And you want to make sure that when you go to get your envelope from FedEx, that you put the sender name as the Nigerian Immigration Service in Atlanta, and they will give you the address. It's 860 Roswell, Avenue, I believe, but check it. I'll write it on here as well. You want to make sure that the sender name is the Nigerian Immigration Service, and instead of having the generic FedEx where you bought it from as the sender, because if in any event of a return to sender, they need to know that this is going to the Nigerian Immigration Service. So make sure you do that. They will also tell you this at the consulate, but it's always good to be prepared, because the people who had to go and now get another printout for their envelope wasted their time. They were sweating, they were rushing. I don't like stress. If you don't like stress, just do what you're supposed to do. Now you know the way. Now I have shown you the tricks and the tips. So just do what you're supposed to do. Something else you need is a $30 money order. This you can get from USPS or any supermarket that does money orders. Somebody that I saw online as well said that it was cash or card. But at ATL, they do not accept cash or card. So it has to be a $30 money order. And this is something they called it the administrative fee. I'm not exactly sure what they use that for, but it's a $30 admin fee, and they only accept money orders for that. So that's one thing you want to note as well. And then these are just some of the tips that I believe really helped my own situation. I got to ATL on Wednesday, and when I arrived at the airport, one of the first places I went to was the consulate that Wednesday afternoon, even though my appointment was on Thursday, because I wanted to make sure that I would not be running helter-skelter on Thursday. Like I already said in this video, I do not like stress. I like a good and prepared life. So I went there to prepare my way for tomorrow. And so the lady who saw me was very gracious, and she looked through my documents and arranged them in the way that they needed to be arranged. And she was like, yeah, your documents are in order, just get the $30 money order and then also get your self-addressed envelope. So that was really helpful. It also helps to know where you're going to on the morning of where you're going, so you're not running helter-skelter. All right. Number 2, you want to try to get there early. My appointment was for 9:30, and my goal really was to leave my house at 6 a.m. the way I was staying, and hopefully get there around 6:30, but I ended up waking up at 6 a.m. and I got there by like 7:15 or like 7:20. When I arrived at the embassy on Thursday, I was the second person in line. So I was like, where is the crowd that I've heard of? Like, where is the crowd I've heard of? But by 9 p.m., there were only like 5, 6, 7 people there at the embassy. So I don't know because I went on a Thursday. I don't know whether it was because it was a Thursday or the oil on my head just, a grief or stress for me on that day. I do not know. I know actually the glory of the Lord was shining upon my life. And so try to get there early. I've heard some really horrendous stories. By God's grace, that's not going to be a portion. You just need to pray and go in the power of the Spirit to the embassy and get there early. So number 1, what's number 1? Number 1 is visit the embassy or the consulate a day before. Number 2, get there early, okay? Number 3, you just might want to try a Thursday, because the day I went was a Thursday and it wasn't that busy. Number 4, you can actually bring your laptop if you have to work. I was allowed to work on my laptop while I was waiting, and I asked that question very specifically. So they said that you can work on your laptop while you are waiting. So that's something you want to keep in mind. Parking, there's parking, but apparently you have to pay. Because I got there early, I got the inside scoop, and somebody showed me the place where you can park for free, because that was the place of that was the office of the agents that he used for his own application. So I was able to get free parking because I was early and made the proper and needed connections in advance. What's the number? The next one, Sha. You get the point. The reason why I was able to get my passport in 7 days was because, again, of my status. After I got my appointments, I did my biometrics. The date on the paper that I got that I was supposed to get my passport back, my new passport, was October 29. And because my passport expires on October 16, that means I was going to be out of F1 status, and I don't know what the consequences of that would be. I shall never know, because I already got my passport. So the head of immigration, Mrs. Stella Maris Eniola, fantastic woman, she announced by herself that, she understands that, there are some people who have to have their passports earlier because of their status or whatever, and that if we need any that kind of help from her, which we should just let her know. And so I talked to her after I got my biometrics done, and she was like, oh yeah, that's okay, just print. She was asked me to photocopy the slip that I got from them with my passport return date on it. And so I did that and then gave it to her for her so that she could also contact me when the passport was ready. I went for my appointment on the 29th of August. The date printed on my passport is the 30th of August, and I got my passport on Friday, September the 5th, I believe, or 6th, one of them. So that was literally 7 days from the day that I went to ATL to apply for my passport. So that's a tip, that's a trick. If you want to, be adventurous, you can wait till the last minute and try your luck. But for me, like I said, the favor of God upon my life is a lot, and I walk the anointing of God upon my life. So that was the favor of God shining bright like a diamond upon my life, and I love it for myself. Okay, and yeah, it was a great experience. I have no complaints about the experience at all. Something else I want to add is maybe look cute to the embassy, because there were just 5 men everywhere. 5 people everywhere. Some were married, some were single. So I don't know. I feel like more needs to be done on that area. Like, we need to be doing like some proactive matchmaking at the embassy, because all these fine people cannot be here together and everybody's on their phones. Let's do something. Be dated. Let's do it. I met this guy. He was from Northwestern, the school, and he was also trying to get help for his F1. But the guy said his airplane was leaving soon, so he did not get the favor that I got, because he was in a hurry and he had to leave, which is understandable. But my personal advice is, if your appointment is today, don't book your return flight for today as well. Book it for tomorrow, because you never know what can happen or what they need from you. Some people the person who was number 1 on the list, I left him at the consulate because apparently the system was having some trouble identifying his documents or what's not, or identifying his payments. So you just never know what's going to happen. So you want to make sure that you have enough time to settle your matters and your affairs appropriately. So that's the story behind how I got my passport in 7 days. If this was helpful for you, let me know. If you have any specific questions for the head of immigration at the ATL consulate, let me know, and I'm going to try to get her on video to answer some of our questions. So I hope this video helps you. Let me know in the comment section. Share it, like it, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.